Dustin Rees, hello.
Hello.
You directed a very, I would say, touching and funny film called Signs. It's a film from Switzerland. I will just read the synopsis first, and then we'll begin the discussion. An electrician follows his nightly routines, setting up signs in the city. He goes through life unnoticed and out of touch with the world until he realizes which signs he should be paying attention to. My first question is, I remember seeing your student film, The Bellinger, in 2007. Actually, we selected it at that time. And now I also saw Borderline, which you made a few years after. It is obvious that script writing is an important part of your work. And I know that you're a teacher. So do you agree that script writing is for you fundamental in your filmmaking?
Absolutely. I will not start unless the story works. It's also I've done some smaller dialogue things as well there as well. It's got not one word too much, not one word too little. Just it needs to. I'm actually quite lazy as an animator. I'm not, but I'd rather just do what is necessary and not shoot overboard and just waste time. That's one of the worst things we can do anyway, is waste time.
Yeah, in order, if the film can work, if the film works, the script has to be very, very, very precise. So there's no like hasard, as we say in French. I mean, it's all like written before. And when
there was a proverb, isn't there? Right? Is the difference between a good director and a bad director. If you have a good script, you have a chance of making a good film. If you have a bad script, you will never make a good film. And the good director will identify the bad script from the good script.
Is it something that you teach to your students?
Actually, that was something that was taught to me while I was making this film.
Wow.
Because I had a first draft that didn't know what it was. But then, you sit down, you focus, and as with everything, if you're too involved, you can hardly see what it should be. And then if you distance yourself a bit, you're like, okay, what am I trying to say? And then it nails it, and everything falls into place.
You especially enjoy cycles and repetitions. Is it like a game, or is it? Does it carry your opinion of the world?
Good question. It's certainly all of my films are staged. I mean, literally, of course, staging, blah, 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 but it feels like it's a stage. Like I present it as a stage, like this is what's happening, tick, 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 and that's the way it works. I do think nothing lasts. Everything's been told. So, and I'm a bit of a geek. Geek. I just watch a lot of things, play a lot of games, and I just try and find a way that things maybe from a certain perspective or from a certain view have not been shown as such. So Bell Ringer particularly, also, to be quite honest, the one that I really, really love apart from this one is The Cleaner, because you just play with the canvas and make sure that the audience gets to, the eyes wander everywhere. And I think the cycle and the repetition, yeah, I also love episodic things. Just because it gives you a bit of a glance and you can just play with a similar format, but just twist it from what angle you're looking at. And and of course, nothing lasts. As well.
And also what we notice in signs that, yes, there are cycles and repetitions, but as I mentioned at the beginning, the film is moving. It could be like like some kind of game, and that's all. But you manage to introduce emotions in the film, and we feel close. We share what the characters are feeling. So was it a challenge for you to achieve that?
It's very much, actually. This is the first one that's really also very close to my heart. The other ones, you get away with a bit of black humor and a bit of jokes, a bit of ha-ha. But this one it's almost autobiographical. I've got a kid now, so no longer. But I work as an operator, and animators tend to work silly hours as well. So it was about finding that balance and how that worked out. Sorry, but wait, to get back to your question, well, which was what?
But the fact that we feel close to these characters,
yes.
the film is moving.
But I think it's something that one can really identify with. That's why it's personal, but it's also, in this day and age where everything is going so fast, it's just nice to. It was the first night in the film. The first night is actually a risk. It's a 3-minute slag, basically. There are the first jump cuts, but only the major ones, from morning to night, then to night to morning to evening to night, and then jump cuts, then the actual story, and so on and so forth. And in that night, I was a bit afraid that I might lose my audience, I won't lose my audience. I'll lose some of the audience. But it's all of the emotion is in that one. It's, yes, they're living apart from each other, but there is still love in that room. The way that they treat, they look after each other, even though they don't see each other, is something that really, and for me, it still moves me when I see it. I managed to see it in a cinema during Fontosh, which I was very, very fortunate for, and you can feel that in the room. But that last moment when he passes over the tea, for me it's tea. It's not coffee. It's tea because I'm English. But that cup of tea, it's it doesn't need a kiss. It doesn't need that. It just, hey, I'm here, and that's all it was. And they are there for each other. And that's I think that's something we can all relate to. And it was super hard.
I saw in your filmography that there was like a 5 years gap between Signs and your previous film. Am I right?
Yeah, pretty.
Yeah. So what happened meanwhile? I mean, I know that you're a tango dancer. I saw that on your website also.
That's been a while, but actually, Signs has been following me. Actually, I found the first notes the other day, and I put a bit of a making of together for a premiere that we had here, luckily. My first notes were 2012 for this one, but the real production started 3 years ago, properly. 4 years to get the funding, and so it was a bit of a slag. And the other thing is, we had first calculated the film being 5.5 minutes, and now it's 10.5. So that was a huge delay on that. But during that time, I met my fiancée, we had a kid, and just a lot of things were going on. Before that, there were a lot of little clips that I did, some commissioned work, and just otherwise some things that I felt I need to throw that out. But otherwise, a lot of people are saying a lot of things, and this is the one where I felt like I had something to say. And as you said before, with your very first question, which is great, it's the script. I finally had something to say again.
Yeah. My last question, I don't know, I don't want to get personal, but when I learned that you are a projectionist, I said, wow, it's the first time that I have, because I work in the film museums, but so
I love them. I love film museums.
Yeah. So I know many projectionists, I know many artists, but it's the first time that I see a filmmaker and an animator who is also a projectionist. So please, can you tell me how these two jobs mix?
That's a really good one, because if you know operators, you know that they're quite characters, and they can be, just technical buffs and just a bit, I'm just going to do my thing. Yeah. I don't know how that can work as being an animator and an operator. Everything in my life, I was always just, it's all about film. And the easy access, it was a lot about watching it. So then I was like, hey, it would be great to, screen them and do things. And when I was still studying, or not animation, but also just my school, put on film nights and stuff. So it was just always great to screen. And especially now in this day and age, I'm fortunate enough to be in one of the 2 cinemas in Zurich that still screen 35, 16, 8, better.
Okay,
all
so,
kinds of
so you
stuff.
do you do 35
Yeah.
and 16. Oh yes, wow.
So I know what it, so I hope the remember the old school joke, operators don't die, they change over. That's a joke. That's a joke that no one is going to understand in the next 5 years, but I get it. I know that one. So
Yeah, I get it as well, and I'm sure that many
there are a
people who
couple out
are
there.
watching us now will understand.
Exactly, top right corner.
Okay.
No,
So Dustin,
yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
But of course that helped me tremendously because due to the delay of the film, as you know, the operator, yeah, if you've got 35, you're paying attention during the film a bit, but it's the crucial 10 minutes at the beginning, and then you've got a bit of time on your hands. So there's a sofa. We've got a huge cabin in the Xenix, which the cinema I work in, and that sofa was quite a major production place for Signs actually as well. So. And actually, it's great now because I had the premiere in that cinema, and then all of the people that work in that cinema also, you know, who are always like, Dustin, what are you doing? You can't talk to him anyway. He's drawing, and now they can finally see what I was up to. So,
yeah, you actually have to go to work now. Are you going
right.
to do a 35 millimeter projection, or?
It's not. So it's a program cinema, and Adam Driver is this month's theme, and his films are all digital, so it's going to be an easy DCP day today.
Yes, it is. So thanks a lot, Dustin, for taking the time to talk to us. Stay safe. Stay safe, please. And we really hope that we'll be able to welcome you in Montreal in the near future. Well, thanks a lot. Good luck, and see you soon.
Hey, absolute pleasure. So glad that you've got it. So glad that you enjoy it, hopefully, and so glad that you can spread it. Just, I think when you make films, I only really want to be understood, and if you select my film, I already feel a bit understood.
Okay. Goodbye, Dustin.
Hey, cheers.
Bye.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.